Hey, I'm Rebecca Kennedy, Peloton instructor, and today we're going to be talking about nutrition to support HiLit in our training. HiLit Plus is built around becoming stronger, healthier, and more capable, and nutrition is just one piece of the conversation. And to help us have that conversation today is one of my best friends, Dr. Jamie Schehr.
We have lots to talk about today, and what I'd like to bring to you is the education and the science behind the most important and best practices for training and nutrition.
Some members are taking HiLit for maintenance and just the consistency of having a routine that they can do 5 days a week. And then other members are taking HiLit to be able to build muscle. So if somebody were to want to build a fat booty, asking for a friend, what advice would you give them in terms of like bolstering their nutrition?
For that person, making sure that they are eating enough protein to match the increase in weight to build the muscle is the most important. So it doesn't mean that they're eating so much more. It just means that they might be shifting how they're eating to prioritize the protein so that they can optimize building their muscle.
Say more about that. What do you mean by shifting?
If you have somebody who's like, I'm gonna start HiLit and I wanna get stronger, and they just kind of eat a normal lunch, maybe they have a salad and they throw a little bit on it, but they're not really paying attention to that 30 grams of protein or that 1 gram per pound, they probably undereat protein.
That was going to be my next question. How do you know when you're undereating?
That's a tough question to answer because the signs can be very different, right? A lot of people have become conditioned to chronically undereating, and often it's not even intentional. I would say that if you are doing HiLit, you need to be eating 3 meals a day, and those 3 meals need to have protein and fiber in them.
Okay. If somebody doesn't know what 30 grams of protein looks like, can you give us a visual representative? I was always told it's like a fist.
That's like an old school, like a fist of chicken.
I mean, sometimes I don't want to get out of scale and I just want to be able to know when I'm putting something on my plate, a general, without weighing it or knowing how much I'm actually consuming, if I can eyeball it.
So going back to that whole building muscle, like if you want to really strategically build muscle, don't eyeball it. But if you want to just be like, I know I'm getting enough, then yeah, you can think about it as the size of the palm of your hand if it's like a thin chicken breast,
Like
right?
my hand or Andy's hand?
Well, Andy would need Andy's hand.
Oh, okay.
And Rebecca would need Rebecca's hand. The other way I really like to teach people about this is take your plate, visualize it, bring it in half. I want half of your plate to be vegetables, and I want the other half to predominantly be some protein and carbohydrates. The general idea is that we're really building a plate that has a lot of protein and a lot of vegetables.
Before we get started on the next segment, I want to preface this by saying that some people here are interested in talking about body recomposition, which is just building muscle and reducing body fat. It's changing around the ratios of what your body consists of. And I understand that this is not for everyone, and I'm not saying that you should want to do this or that you should need to do this. But if you want to have this as a goal, that is absolutely fine. But there's no way to have that conversation with training without the nutrition piece. Nutrition is a huge element when it comes to body recomposition. And it's absolutely fine to have that goal. And if you've had any sort of complicated or complex relationship with food or nutrition in the past, and I want to say that it doesn't have to be like that forever, but if you are experiencing that right now, you don't have to participate in this part of the conversation. But I do think for those that are interested in it, this is going to be really helpful. And remember, it's not prescriptive, it's not a diet, it's not specifically telling you what to do, but it is a general guideline if this is something that you're interested in, that these would be good practices to take away to help you in pursuit of that goal. Let's talk about body recomposition. When people are taking HiLit Plus, how can they supplement their nutrition or really look at their nutrition to support that goal of recomp?
So Rebecca, do you know what the strongest muscle in the body is? And no, it's not the booty. The brain is the strongest muscle in the body. So my disclaimer in this conversation is that so much of the power of how we feel and how we change starts here.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to think about body recomposition has to first think about, do I have the perception of what I want or need to change in a realistic and accurate space? Although some people might feel like a scale is very, very triggering, it is important to have a metric. If you want to build muscle and lose fat, I would recommend that they have something like a body composition to help them see at the beginning of HiLit they had this much muscle, and at the end they gained 1.5 pounds of muscle. Because sometimes seeing those numbers and how much you've improved can be so rewarding.
Let's pause there. The scale that we keep in our bathroom, I don't have one anymore. I got rid of that thing a long time ago. It's given me so much peace of mind. But I did that because it doesn't tell the whole story.
Correct.
The number is completely arbitrary where you don't know what it's made up of. So how would someone actually know what their composition currently is as a day one? And then how would they track that at the end of week 7?
The traditional home scale that Rebecca and Jamie used at 16 as a gymnast or 20, that's not what we have in the world today. We actually have so many other tools because it tells the whole picture versus getting on a scale and looking at a number. Nowadays, people can buy a body composition scale where they can really just focus on how much muscle did I gain, right?
That's
because
incredible.
if you can focus on how much muscle you're gaining, muscle is a metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. The more muscle you have, the more your body may utilize some of its fat stores for energy, i.e. body recomposition. So when someone's like, I want to lose fat and gain muscle, I want to see the muscle change. I want them to know how many pounds of muscle is on their body, and I want them to know at the end of HiLit how much muscle they gained, and that gain is a positive gain.
A common question I get is, can you lose body fat and build muscle at the same time?
And the answer is yes.
How?
But if somebody is doing HiLit and this is a new program for them, they're more likely to see that result than somebody who's doing it for maintenance. The longer you've been in this and the more you've maintained it and the more your body is conditioned to this, you might not have those same results. But for somebody who's going to up the ante and do HiLit, they're more likely to see that. Now, how would you lose the fat while building the muscle is to focus on building the muscle so that it is more metabolically active. So that means eating the protein, eating the fiber, having carbohydrates that are complex. It also means paying attention to where we might eat out of boredom. So it's about making choices that are in service of gaining muscle. Recomposition is not about eating less. It is not about changing your nutrition so that you can lose weight. Recomposition is about feeding the muscle.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in today and chatting everything about nutrition specific to HiLit. Hopefully this is helpful over the course of the next 7 weeks. And if you have questions that we didn't answer, please go ahead and head over to Peloton Teams because Dr. Jamie is going to be in there every week. When is it?
Every single Wednesday, 9:45 a.m. I am going to be live on Teams answering all your questions.
We've never done that before, which is
amazing.
super amazing. And also, if you have any questions that are specific to you or if you need something a little bit more prescriptive, of course, reach out to Dr. Jamie. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for making HiLit.
My pleasure.
I mean-
Are you going to do it?
Of course I'm doing it.
I just needed to make sure.
Oh.